taking a stand against the furries and demons in the English District School Board of Newfoundland and Labrador. 6,298 people have signed this petition today. And here's what it says. We, as parents, have a right to define what our children are exposed to when they are out of parental care. It has been brought to light that, quote, furries and demons, unquote, are now allowed to identify in school. We as parents can support our LGBTQ community in not allowing their identities to be reduced to objects, sexual fetishes, and non-human fiction or religious characters. Oh boy. My oh my. Where do we start with this one? Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. Today is September 29th, 2022. This is the type of article I would expect to see on the Beaverton or the Onion, maybe. Not on a supposedly serious news site. Furries and demons. What exactly does that mean? Well, something these 6,298 people didn't do was type the word furries and demons into Google, because they would have learned that this is in fact a hoax. This is a ploy by anti-LGBTQ activists to fearmonger human beings into believing that if their children identify as trans, that by default they are going to want to identify as cats. Yes, and that they will start meowing and they will ask to use the litter box. And this individual has even gone so far as to suggest that schools and school boards are accommodating this concept. Of course, no. Alas, this is false. I'm not going to mention the name of the person who's behind this, because that's really not. It's not about that individual. It's more about the ideology and about the reaction. We can't prevent the fact that there are people who hate just for the sake of hating. And of course, there's not much we can do. If someone's going to post something on the internet, all we can do is call it out and say, this is fake. Check your sources, folks. Get your news from credible sources who have positive reputation for presenting facts and telling the truth. And be very suspicious of somebody who makes claims that they can't back up. This is definitely taking advantage of the fact that human beings do not like change. We resist change. We are creatures of habit. Sure, I understand. Nobody wants to be seen as different. We like to put people in neat little boxes and orderly, and the very idea that someone could be gay or lesbian, or for goodness sakes trans, does not fall within the cute little comfortable norms that we've been accustomed to here on our little planet. But you know what? It's not all that bad. 50 years ago, the idea that your son or your daughter might be gay or lesbian was horrifying. And there were all sorts of crazy rumors out there about how these people were mentally deranged and that they were terrible. And without the internet, it took a lot longer for these stories to spread and for this garbage to perpetuate. And more recently, people were legitimately terrified at the thought that one of their children could be trans, and that this could never be the case. They must be mentally ill. And that's exactly, it's prying into this concept. Just the fact that my child would want to be a cat That's a real negative idea, isn't it? Sure. This is a cat, okay? It has a tail. It has whiskers. It has 2 cat ears. Do you meow? Meow. It meows. You know what? Cats are actually very intelligent creatures. I know that because I've had pets. I've had cats of my own. Fortunately, none right now except for this stuffed animal. But honestly, even a cat would be insulted by the thought that 6,298 human beings would actually believe this bogus story. And it just goes to show you how gullible we can be as humans. I tweeted at Rick Mercer. Some of you may remember talking to Americans. What do you call it? A political satire, I guess? A 1-hour television special that aired about 20 years ago, in which Rick Mercer, the well-known comedian from Canada, Newfoundland, Canada, by the way, went down to the United States and asked Americans' opinions about supposed Canadian news stories. And the fact that these Americans would go on and on and on and give all these great opinions and ideas about stories that were in fact 100% bogus. This is exactly what has happened to us here at home, Newfoundland and Labrador. We have fallen prey, well, not all of us, the 6,000 of you that signed this thing, to actually believe, 1, that a human would want to be a cat, and 2, that the school board would allow this. And you're signing this without any proof. There's clearly no proof because this is bogus. It is totally not based in reality. If it wasn't so tragic, it would be funny. Ultimately, yeah, don't believe everything you read on the internet, people. And be very wary of people who try to link or compare anything to being LGBTQ. LGBTQ people. We're just trying to be people. We're human beings that just want to fit in. I'm trans, but I'm also a person. I think that was one of my lines at a speech. I'm a trans person, which means I'm also a person. I eat, I sleep, I go to the bathroom, I have a job, I drink water. Much like the cats, we're mammals. Trans people, most of us have hands, arms, legs, eyes, nose, ears. We have jobs. Some of us are actually pretty boring people. Some of us think they're comedians. Nobody seems to laugh at my jokes, though. Not even this cat. Meow, meow. What do you think of this cat? Meow. You don't like it, do you? No. Meow. What do you think of the idea that people would want to be a cat? Meow. Think that's a silly idea? Meow. See, talking to a stuffed cat is just as silly as the people that signed this petition. What the hell are you thinking? And why are you buying into this propaganda from a person who calls himself a raven? I don't know Dana. And I hate to just judge someone based on their reputation, because I know that reputations are created sometimes by fact, but sometimes by rumor. What I do know that is very real about Dana is what she posted on her website when she ran for political office. And she exposed exactly who she is and what she stands for. Therefore, I am not surprised that Dana Metcalf would attempt to fearmonger and promote any type of hatred or lack of acceptance towards the LGBTQ community. And it does not surprise me that Dana would try to link being LGBT to something as outlandish as wanting to become a cat. There are people like Dana out there in this world, and it's really unfortunate that they seem to have the power of persuasion. And the fact that 6,000 of you have fallen into her trap today. Rick Mercer, talking to Americans or as it was billed, talking to Americans. That was an amazing piece of televised journalistic satire, but I really think we need a sequel here at home, talking to Newfoundlanders, because there's obviously a lot of very stupid, ignorant, gullible people here who truly believe that our school system is turning young students from humans into cats. God help us all. Thanks for watching, everyone.